Hey guys, I often get asked how I feel comfortable walking around conventions basically dressed half nakedly, and it's weird because I used to be really self-conscious of my body and I'd completely avoid any character designs that showed any form of skin. But then I thought to myself, there are so many comic book characters, anime characters, video game characters that are skimpily dressed, and that basically if I really like that character I shouldn't be put off by them just because they aren't wearing much. Anyway, over the years I've developed some tricks and tips to kind of make me feel more comfortable in a less covered up cosplay, so I'm going to share them with you now. First off, let's talk about thighs. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really self-conscious of my thighs because I've got quite bad cellulite around that area, which means that basically my skin's not really that even, and it's really annoying because most comic book characters like showing their thighs, and I kept putting off the designs for as long as possible. My first tip to you, if you're going to be wearing a costume that shows the thigh area, is wear tights. I got recommended this brand called Capezio, I think. I'll write the name in the description. They're really good tights. They don't have seams or anything on them, so when you're wearing them it basically looks like your own skin. Also, they're not shiny, so they don't reflect in pictures. For example, my Haruhi cosplay, my group of friends were doing a bunny girl group and I felt really self-conscious joining in because they do show a lot of the bum and thigh area, and I felt that without wearing a kind of like layer of skin coloured tights underneath the fishnets, I wouldn't have been able to do that. The good thing about the Capezio tights is that they are dance tights, so they basically keep everything in shape, and if you've got cellulite it smooths everything out, and there's loads of different colours of the tights, so you can pick one that suits your skin tone and it just makes everything look good. So speaking of smoothing things out, let's talk about the woman area. I was always really terrified of wearing costumes that don't cover up the vagina area much, because I always heard stories of like your underwear bunching up and you getting a camel toe and you end up being posted on 4chan and made fun of. But then my friend gave me this tip which is really weird, and it is to wear a really thin sanitary towel in your underwear. Even if you're not on your period, do it, because it kind of gives your underwear support and it prevents the material from bunching around that area. It works really well in my opinion. This is when I wore my siesta costume and she basically just wears underwear, so I was so worried that it would bunch up the material. While we're talking about underwear, I need to stress that it's really important to wear the right kind of underwear. There's been times where I've worn really skimpy black shorts and I've decided that I was going to wear white underwear with it, so when my shorts slip down everyone can see my white underwear. Let's get on to talking about the second lady part, which is the boobs. I don't really have a problem with like my boobs falling out or anything because I don't really have any, but I know that talking to my friends that do have quite big boobs, they need to support them because you don't want to be wearing a costume that's low cut and then have your boobs flying out halfway through the day. What I say is get a good quality bra that's wired to kind of support you. Another problem that you might face is that if you are wearing a cosplay that is kind of like a bra or just a boob tube top, you might find that throughout the day it starts to slip down. To prevent this from happening, what I do is that I use double-sided tape. I stick it to my bra and I stick it to the costume so the costume doesn't slip off of you and reveal everything. Also, while we're talking about bras, I need to mention that I don't like wearing bras without straps, but it's a problem if I am wearing a top that doesn't have sleeves. So I wear clear straps. Some people think that they're quite tacky, but I just think for the support it's really worth it, and also a lot of the time I'm going to be wearing a wig that covers up the straps anyway, and they don't really show up in pictures, so I think it's worth it personally. My fourth tip is basically the most important in my opinion, and it's to be confident. If you're in a cosplay that does not cover much skin and you're kind of hunched over and you just look really uncomfortable and not confident, people are going to look at you more. People are going to wonder why this person is standing like this, and they're going to notice it's because you're half naked, and it's just going to make you feel like people are watching you more and feel more self-conscious of yourself, which isn't good. But on the other hand, if you're standing up straight and you look confident and happy in what you are wearing, people are going to look at you and think, oh, she looks really good and I respect her for wearing the costume that she's wearing. I also find that when you're standing up straight, if you're wearing a costume that doesn't cover the tummy area, it flattens everything out and it just makes your structure look nicer. So those are my 4 tips. In summary, the first one is to wear tights to make you feel less self-conscious about your thighs. The second is to wear a sanitary towel to prevent any camel toe occurring. The third is to wear a good bra and support your boobs. And the fourth is to be confident in what you're wearing. If you've got any tips and tricks of your own, let me know in the comments below, because that's what cosplay is about. It's about being a community and sharing any any tips you have with your fellow cosplayers. If you like the video, please like it because that's an obvious thing to do. Also, if you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe because that's another thing that you could do. I hope that I've helped you in some way, so I'll see you next time. I'm wearing really short black shorts, and for some weird